Although trains are considered one of the safest forms of transportation in the world, railway lines in some countries still pose serious risks due to their age, treacherous terrain, and harsh natural conditions. In this video, we will explore railway routes famous for their extreme danger, uncover their origins, and discover why people must continue using them. Opening today's list is 1 Bangladesh's overcrowded train. If you think the most crowded train in the world simply means one with no seats left, this railway will make you think again. On these trains, passengers are not only packed tightly inside the cars, they are also forced to climb onto the roof or cling to the outside of the train. These scenes are common on Bangladesh's overcrowded railway routes, especially on trains departing from the capital city of Dhaka and traveling along routes such as Dhaka-Chittagong and Dhaka-Mymensingh. During peak travel periods, the number of passengers can far exceed the train's intended capacity. People crowd inside the passenger cars until they spill through the doors. Some even climb onto the roof of the train. These scenes occur frequently, especially during major holidays such as Eid, when millions of people attempt to return to their hometowns at the same time. Overcrowding is not merely uncomfortable, it can also be life-threatening. Passengers may fall from the train, collide with electrical poles, or lose their balance while the train is moving. Accidents like these continue to occur year after year. The main reason is that the country's transportation system cannot adequately meet the demands of its enormous population. As a result, trains have become the only available option for many people, forcing them to accept the risks even though they know the journey may not be safe. In sixth place is 2. The Chennai Rameswaram train. If traveling by boat through enormous waves is enough to make you nervous, imagine sitting aboard a train running across the open sea. In India, there is a railway line that crosses a vast expanse of ocean, stretching all the way to the horizon. It is the Chennai Rameswaram railway route, where trains must cross a railroad bridge more than 1.2 miles long. The train runs along tracks surrounded entirely by the sea, with no land visible on either side. This bridge is a symbol of the remarkable development of Indian engineering. At the same time, however, it is constantly exposed to one of the most corrosive environments in the world. Ocean waves, powerful winds, and salty sea air continuously corrode the bridge's structure. In 2016, inspectors discovered as many as 27 cracks in the base beneath the railway tracks. Whenever the weather becomes unstable, crossing this bridge by train becomes especially dangerous. In the past, major storms caused serious railway accidents in this area, resulting in the deaths of more than 155 people. These deadly incidents led authorities to place the railway under much stricter supervision and control. Next is 3. The ND&W train. This railway may not climb towering mountains or cross deep ravines like many others on this list. However, the moment people see the shape of its tracks, they cannot help but raise their eyebrows. This is the ND&W Railway, located between the states of Indiana and Ohio in the United States. What makes this railway famous is not its elevation, but the severely deformed condition of its tracks. They rise and fall so dramatically that railway enthusiasts have nicknamed it the roller coaster railroad. As the train passes over them, the tracks can sink, bend upward, and visibly bounce up and down. Each rail car shakes violently, making passengers feel as though they are riding a thrill ride at an amusement park. Even though the train does not travel at particularly high speeds, the unusual condition of the tracks still creates a sense of tension and excitement comparable to riding along the edge of a mountain cliff. It is also proof that a dangerous railway does not necessarily have to be located high in the mountains or beside a deep abyss. In fourth place is 4. The Qinghai Tibet train. If you believe that trains are always a safe and comfortable way to travel, this railway may make you change your mind immediately. This is the Qinghai Tibet Railway, which travels along one of the highest railway routes in the world, with some sections located more than 5,000 meters above sea level. At such an extreme altitude, the amount of oxygen in the air is nearly half the normal level. The railway stretches from the city of Xining to Lhasa, covering a total distance of more than 1,900 kilometers. It crosses snow-covered mountain ranges, vast grasslands, and regions of permanent frozen ground. The greatest danger on this railway does not come from deep ravines or sharp curves. Instead, it comes primarily from the thin air caused by the extreme altitude. These conditions can make passengers feel dizzy or short of breath. Some people may even lose consciousness because of altitude sickness. For this reason, the trains must be equipped with pressurized passenger cars and supplemental oxygen systems to support passengers throughout the journey. Even the employees working aboard these trains must undergo specialized training before beginning their jobs. This is truly a railway that challenges both humanity and nature. Next is the Devil's Nose train. High in the Andes Mountains, at an elevation of nearly 9,000 feet above sea level, lies one of the most dangerous and terrifying railway routes in South America. It is known as the Devil's Nose or the Devil's Nose Railway. This railway cuts across towering, nearly vertical rock faces and was nothing short of a nightmare for the engineers who built it. Its complex, winding route was once considered one of the most difficult railway engineering projects in the world. The tracks run dangerously close to the edges of towering cliffs, just a few feet from the deep ravines below. When passengers look down, they can see what appears to be a bottomless abyss. The route also contains numerous switchbacks, meaning that every movement of the train requires an extremely high level of precision. The railway first began operating in 1908. In the past, passengers were even allowed to sit on the roof of the train under extraordinarily dangerous conditions, when safety measures were virtually non-existent. As a result, accidents occurred quite frequently during that period. Although the railway is now more strictly controlled and operates under much stronger safety regulations, the Devil's Nose remains on the list of the world's most dangerous railway routes. Next is 6. The Train to the Clouds. High in the Andes Mountains of northern Argentina lies a railway with a name that sounds almost poetic. However, the scenery along this journey is enough to make your heart race. It is called the Tren a las Nubes, also known as the Train to the Clouds. The railway first began operating in 1948 and is located near the border between Argentina and Chile. The train must navigate a series of dangerous, winding routes, passing through more than 21 tunnels and crossing 13 bridges. Each bridge stretches across an incredibly deep ravine whose bottom is nearly impossible to see. One of the most anticipated sights for tourists is not simply the final station, but the La Polverilla Viaduct, a steel bridge more than 735 feet long and approximately 210 feet above the ground. Some sections of the railway reach an altitude of nearly 13,800 feet above sea level. Thin air, powerful winds, and thick fog make this an extremely challenging journey. Therefore, it is no surprise that the Train to the Clouds is frequently ranked among the most dangerous railway routes in the world. 7. The Pilatus Railway. When the steepness of a railway exceeds the limits of what conventional systems can handle, humans are forced to develop an entirely new solution and accept an entirely new set of challenges. Located in Switzerland, the Pilatus Railway is known as the steepest railway in the world. The railway runs from the lower mountain area near the lake to the majestic summit of Mount Pilatus. This journey is not about speed. Instead, it demands extraordinary precision because the tracks can reach an incline of approximately 18 degrees, many times steeper than a conventional railway line. With such a steep incline, a conventional railway system simply cannot be used. For this reason, engineers developed a specialized cogwheel railway system to prevent the train from sliding backward down the mountain. The passenger cars are also designed to remain level while following the steep angle of the tracks, helping maintain balance throughout the climb. As the train ascends, passengers may feel as though it is climbing straight up a massive rock wall. The railway carries passengers to an elevation of more than 2,100 meters above sea level, where powerful winds, dense fog, and towering cliffs surround the tracks. This railway proves that dangers once considered impossible to control can still be conquered through engineering and technology. And taking the final position on today's list is 8. The Death Railway. Many people in Thailand are familiar with the name Death Railway, but not everyone knows the full story behind it. The railway begins at Ban Pong in Ratchaburi province and winds through forests, mountains, cliffs, and along the River Kwai toward the border with Myanmar. Even today, many sections of the railway are enough to make passengers' hearts pound. Aging wooden bridges and tracks running alongside towering cliffs make every passing journey feel tense and dangerous. However, what makes this railway so terrifying is not only the risk of a train accident. Its reputation also comes from an extraordinarily brutal history. During World War II, prisoners of war, primarily Allied soldiers, along with hundreds of thousands of forced laborers, were ordered to construct this railway under conditions of disease, starvation, and extreme hardship. Tens of thousands of people lost their lives during its construction. That tragic history is why the route continues to be remembered as the Death Railway to this day. So what do you think after watching the entire list? Which railway route do you believe is the most terrifying? Is there one railway journey that you would never dare to experience, even once? Leave your answer in the comments below and join the discussion. And if you do not want to miss more fascinating, exciting, and surprising videos, do not forget to like this video and subscribe. We will see you again in the next video.